Sayun, Faster Mai. Welcome to the Team Contest Solution presentation of 19th International Linguistics Olympiad in Isle of Man. My name is Min Kyu Kim, and I'm the author of the Team Contest problem. A year ago, as I was preparing problems for this Olympiad, I thought I wanted to write a problem about the language of Mon. Because we are competing on the Isle of Man. But if I write a problem in Manx, that would be too obvious and maybe too easy for some teams like Isle of Man or Ireland. So I thought I could find other language of Man, which is known as Manyu in Chinese, also known as Manchu in English. Manchu is the official language of Qing Empire, which is the last dynasty of Chinese history. First, I will explain you how to solve this 9-page long, very extensive problem. The first step is analyzing the text from 청원 노고대. You can see some sentences have repeating verbs and nouns. For example, 더 앞시 건넘비 and 거무 허천이 바로 건넘비 has both 건넘비, and you can, from these two sentences, you can understand that 건넘비 means to go, a verb in Manchu. Like this, from this text, you can get a handful of words, nouns and verbs in Manchu that will be very helpful for solving other parts of this problem. Second text will be matching the sentences from the same text, 청원 노고대. You can see, for example, in 39, 검은 허천, which was spotted that it means Imperial Palace or Beijing in Manchu. Or you can find Ania, which means ear, or let's say Sunja, Orho, and such words that repeat in many different sentences. You can see, you can just pair, you can, sorry, you can match those correspondences using these clues with these keywords that appear multiple times. And then the next step will be more matching in the second part of the problem, which is a dictionary written by the Kangxi emperor. Here, you will see some words that you've already learned from the textbook you were working on from the part 1. For example, Apka was the heaven, and Nyalma was a person. And using these clues, it would have been pretty much easy to connect those pairs with the Manchu sentence and your working language translations. But there were some pitfalls that I intentionally put in. For example, ginseng head is a part of ginseng, and a lot of people would have thought that it's a word that has multiple morphemes. But actually, ginseng head was number 84, sa, like one word, like monomorphemic word. So you should have been very cautious not to just think that some words that are multimorphemic in your language will be also consist of many morphemes in this language. And moving on, you'll be able to recognize some numbers like ilan, juo, duin. Those are numbers. And from the 청원 노고대 text, you would have already learned that some words like gingin means jin, it's a unit, and fun is also a fun, which is 1/100th of liang, is also a unit. So if you see this text really carefully, you can find out that these 4 are all sentences, and they have numbers and units inside. And ishunda taharabumbi in 54 is they are the same. They are the same each other. And 55, you can see okyobuchi. You can find the word okyobumbi, to decrease or to take off. So it's a sentence about subtraction. And number 56, you can see nonggichi, where you can find nongimbi in the sentences in the previous sentences. That means to add. So it's a sentence about addition. And finally, because in the instruction I told you that there are plus, minus, and multiplications. So 57, kamchima bodochi is a phrase in Manchu meaning to multiply these two numbers, ninjuduin and tofohon. And tofohon is a word meaning 15. And then the best strategy would have been having one contestant in team analyzing the script. If you can see the script, you will see a lot of words that have similar parts in it. And Manchu's script is written from top to bottom, vertically, and the sentences go from left to the right. And you would write using those information you gathered about the writing system of Manchu. You'll be easily writing the words like from 58 to 65. And there was also another pitfall in 61 where Yi Nyama, meaning the people of Yi, it's a minority group in China. You can see that there are two E, but the first E should be different, because if you see sentence 19, the E Zhou is written with different E. It's like capitalized E, different from E that is used in genitive or possession structure. And then you'll finally arrive to the most fun part of this problem, trading. So unchara jaka means the goods you sell. Udara jaka are the goods you buy. So you can see jotorongo is something to eat. Otuku is clothes. And if you see the udara jaka, things you buy as a merchant, urhoda was ginseng, suja was silk, and honin was sheep. But you have to be careful, and one of the questions the customers ask is, would you like to buy the sheep with bad fur or bad wool? But it says funioha sain honin here, which means you would only buy a sheep with good fur at Zhuan Zhuo Yan Mongun, which is 12 liang of silver. So there are 10 questions asked by customers, from left to right. Are you all in peace? Do you speak Manchu? Do you have both rice and meat? As to rice, what kind of rice is it? And as to meat, what kind of meat is it? At what price do you give 48 liang of chicken meat? And I will buy clothes. How much is the price of each of those flower pattern ones? And give me 3 of the inner wears for winter. How much is the total if you do the calculation? I wish to sell a sheep with bad wool. Do you wish to buy it? And if one adds 90 to 80, what does one get? As to ginseng from where do you wish to buy? And back to the menu, you can see that 초희안 치지허 오르호다, which means ginseng that comes from Korea. So in this question, you should have answered, I would like to buy a ginseng from Korea. And the last question, it says, what city is the west of the Imperial Palace? And that's why I put the map at the last page of this problem. Some students asked me why there was a map, but the last question the customer asked is a geographic question. So if you can see the map, Hohot, the city that is given in the first part, can be found at the west of the Imperial Palace, Beijing. So the answer to the last question would be there is Hohot. Or in Manchu, Huhu Hoton Bi. And finally, you will arrive to the modern Manchu part, where you can see a lot of Manchu words undergone sound changes. For example, Nyalma became Nyam in 103. A lot of segments have been deleted, and sounds like K and H, they merged into sounds written as X here. So this merge K, G, and H. So you can also see in 112, you can see Jashihan, which was previously Jashigan in literary Manchu, meaning letter. So this was a problem about a historical phonology of Manchu. So I would like to introduce you a little bit about the sources of this problem. The first text was Chang'e Nogulte, and the second was Imperially Commissioned Mirror of the Manchu Language, or in Chinese, 玉质秦文件. In Manchu, it's Han I Arha Manju Gisun I Blokubitho. First, there's Nogulte series. Nogulte is one of the oldest foreign language textbooks in the world, and it's an important source on Middle Korean, Mandarin Chinese, Manchu, and Mongolian. It was all written in the Chosun dynasty, starting from the 15th century. So it was first named just Nogulte because it was a textbook on Mandarin Chinese. And then it was translated into Manchu Mongolian. That's why in the problem they talk about Chinese language, not Manchu language. Chinese language is Nikan Igisun in Manchu. And it's a very important source for Mandarin Chinese because it was all annotated in Hangul, which is phonetic alphabet. So this gives a very good evidence and information about how Mandarin sounded in 15th century until now. So who wrote this book? It was written systematically by by a government agency called Sayeon of Chosun Dynasty of Korea, also known as the Bureau of Interpreters. They trained language experts, translators, and diplomats, and they published texts on Chinese, Manchu, Mongolian, Japanese, and even Ryukyuan. And this is pretty unprecedented thing at the time in world history. Such efforts give linguists of these times a lot of information and things to work on, and so I really thank those ancestors' efforts on educating and helping people learn and communicate in different languages. And Imperially Commissioned Mirror of the Manchu Language was written by the Emperor of Chinese Qing Dynasty called Kangxi. And this was the first comprehensive monolingual dictionary of its size. When I say its size, it's really huge. It's like a few volumes. And on the right, you can see the first entry of the book on the top in the middle. Can you read this? Because I know you've been working on the problem for so long time. I'm pretty sure you can read this. It's apka, meaning the heaven or the sky. The dictionary entries were ordered semantically, not alphabetically. So that's why the most important word that they thought came at the beginning. The sky or the heaven that created the whole earth and human. And the only dictionary that precedes this is French dictionary by Académie Française just by like 10 years something. And this dictionary, the Imperial Commission Mirror, later developed into Pentaglot Dictionary of Qing Dynasty, which included Chinese, Manchu, Mongolian, Chagatai, and Uyghur, which were all official languages of that huge empire. And the last part, the fourth part of the problem, is based on the spoken Manchu of 21st century. And this is the Meng Xianxiao, the Manchu speaker who lives in Sanjiazi in Qiqihar, who were able to give all these materials, spoken materials of Manchu. He is one of very few living Manchu speakers at this time. And I'd like to also share a story of Shi Junguang, a very young man who is enthusiastic in teaching and spreading the Manchu language in China.
现在村子里边年轻人没有会说满语的，全国1000多万满族人呢，只有3家子这些老人会说满语。2005年，当时国家有一个保护民族文化遗产的，福建政府就觉得3家满语有一定影响力在国内啊，已经把这种文化保护下去。第一的次政就是读到班，第一就要把这学校重新建立起来。他们想选当地精通满语的人来教。看到我这个岁数当时不大，热爱这满语啊，还有文化，这高中文化嘛，完就是聘我做满语教师了。刚开这课程的时候啊，3天2天就来记者来专家什么的，孩子也特别起劲儿。后期呢，鼓励政策配套都没出台了，家长也没啥兴趣了，说学这干啥了？一天天学满语，数学语文都耽误了，完了就不鼓励孩子去学习满语。到现在为止吧，就是学校是开课，但是只是当校本教材，就是让孩子学到启蒙作用做。
他们学呀，按我看等于白学，比满人家嘛猛劲哈了，显效更高啊。咱家没有中学呀，小学上现在学多少还能会几句，一到中学呢，中学没有满语课，时间一长了也都忘掉了。
年轻人都不学，另外学了也没啥用。这农村吧，都这大忙季节都往地里干，咱还得靠农业挣钱或养活家。别饿来呢，哪等着做事？别给我青蓝。我们现在传承人已经剩10来个人了，老的吧都80多岁、90多岁的，还有比我小的有2个。总也不说，就像我们现在就是有的话吧，问我们的有的时候吧都想不起来。现在吧，我们这满语挽救吧是有点难了。
我叫杨博文，是齐齐哈尔市3家子村的，我12岁了。我从1年级就开始学满语了，我喜欢上满语课。它跟语文、英语、数学字不一样，长大以后也想教满语。
想学满语的人，难道就3家的这些人吗？不可能，3家子这年轻人跟全国人一样，他们也有各自的生活，有各自的理想，有各自的想法。3家满语保护不能落在3家的人身上，而是全中国的有志的满族人联合起来，把这种语言保护好，出钱出钱，出力出力， 想学的学，这样的话才能真正保护住。
And the best calligraphy award, which is not an actual award, goes to Canada Moose, which was pretty beautiful. I thought it's even well written than my Manchu, but I studied Manchu for years. And then I'd like to thank our team, the whole jury who helped me editing this problem and grading all the solutions on behalf of me, who was sick and staying at the hotel room. Baniha, or thank you very much. Thank you for listening.